All right, FIghtHype.com. Fortunate enough to be joined with the former junior welterweight champ on his way to work, bag in hand and all.
Yep.
And but Chris, man, dying to get your thoughts on Spence Crawford. Now that hopefully it becomes official soon, but who do you favor in that fight? Of course, you fought Spence. Mm-hmm. Did you ever spar Crawford? Or?
No, I never sparred Crawford. And it's a very interesting fight. Obviously, it's one of the biggest fights that can be made, possibly the biggest fight. But I was always saying that I favored Spence in the fight. But as Crawford has been able to do the work that he's done in the welterweight division and really grown into the weight class, it's become a 50-50 fight in my mind. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'm really curious to see what the lead-up is going to be like. And that's the kind of fight where I'm just going to go on a gut feeling.
What is the gut feeling?
Oh, it's not there yet. That's got to be closer to fight night to figure that out. But
obviously, when you fought Spence, you tried to box him.
Oh, what's up,
Bones Adams? What's up,
man?
Oh, you with this guy? Oh, man.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Antonio?
Jeez, that guy's got some fucking hands.
This is my future son right here.
Yeah. Just pop my pop here.
Hey, you was a hell of a boxer too, man.
Oh man, huge fan for a long time. Ran into him actually in Vegas. We sparred. He was looking to make a comeback. This is 10 years ago, and him and I did a few rounds. It was an honor. He's a incredible fighter, incredible coach, great guy.
Yeah, still in great shape too.
Yeah, he's jacked.
But it kind of looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but the super
mini version.
Yeah,
the mini version.
But Chris, you tried to box Spence.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Crawford will have success counterpunching?
Well, Crawford is such an anomaly in the fact that he can fight both ways, righty, lefty. If it's not working out in his orthodox stance, he'll switch southpaw. I don't know. I think he'll probably be better off as an orthodox against Spence, but who knows? But the ability to have that switch and still be as effective, if not more so sometimes, is a real ace up your sleeve.
So you think he might fight orthodox because it have the same effect he has switching southpaw against right-handers? This time switch right-handed against a left-hand guy?
Crawford is so hard to read, and that's what makes him so dangerous. And he's the kind of guy, he develops as the rounds goes on. He picks things up. He's constantly analyzing. But Spence puts so much pressure on you, it's really hard to think and analyze in there because he's coming right in the front door. The guy's like the Terminator. He takes shots. He's got a lot of power. He's physically very strong, and he's huge for the weight class. I would believe he would be the bigger man in the ring.
What's the best advice you could give a guy like Crawford? Not that he'd ask, we know, but what is the best advice you could give a guy like Crawford going up against Spence?
I think you got to look at the fights where Spence had trouble. The Sean Porter fight, and I hate comparing fights. I hate doing boxing math. It's all Crawford was able to stop Spence, but stop Porter, but Porter gave Spence trouble. It doesn't really work like that. Anyone who knows boxing knows that. But that erraticness that Sean was able to utilize in order to keep Spence from putting that constant pressure on, I think could be really beneficial.
Anything underrated about Spence that people may overlook or not give enough credit to?
Yeah, his in and out, his movement. He's actually very, very good. He comes from a huge amateur background, so he's got that style where he can have that push-pull, and he's much harder to hit than he seems. He just takes such a good punch. He doesn't care. He walks through in order to get his offense going. But if he doesn't want to get hit, he doesn't get hit. Look at the Mikey Garcia fight.
Right, because we look at it's like, he's fundamentally sound, but are we not giving enough credit beyond that?
100%. I've said that since I fought him. I was really impressed with his boxing ability. And then the Mikey Garcia fight showed the world that he can really box. Mikey's one of the best boxers around and has been for a long time. So for him to go out there and outbox the boxer, I think that opened a lot of people's eyes.
I know Crawford still looks on top of his game, just stopped Porter. But is he in the 98 Jordan phase, the 2010, you know what I mean, the 2010 Kobe phase, and does that help Spence at all? That he has 3 years of youth.
It's funny you say that. I was actually just thinking that in my room earlier today, thinking about this fight. Time-wise, this might help Spence a little more. But also, Spence has had the car accident. He's had, the eye injury. So, I don't know. Again, it comes down to almost like leveling the playing field in terms of where they are time-wise.
We will get a pick out of you closer to fight week.
Yes.
If that fight.